Hi, friends. Happy Wednesday. So excited to have you here. So excited to have you watching the recording. Just excited for the next little bit. We get to spend some time together. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Christy Jex Gerlach. Just got married. I still am getting used to that because I've been Christy Jex for a long time. So Christy Jex Gerlach, super excited to be with you today. And man, this subject of savoring the now is something that I absolutely adore. And it's also something that is really not always easy. It's a constant challenge, but it's a worthy challenge. It's something that for me, I'm constantly working on and want to get better at. And I've been learning and really focusing on this over the last little bit. And I'm excited to share with you a few little tidbits of things that I am learning. And my intention is that you will hear some things I'm sharing and that you'll have some takeaways from your own intuition, things that come up for you that can serve you and be something that you take away and utilize to just be happier, have more joy, and just be more peaceful in the now. Because isn't that what we all want, right? I feel like if we were to ask every human, what do you really want? It has to do with some sort of emotion around joy, connection, peace. It could be just being happy, successful. And those things are only happening in the present moment. They're only in the now. So I feel like this skill and this practice is worthy for all the humans to practice and to learn to be good at. So first of all, I want to just take a minute and we're going to just practice doing some breathing to get really present in our bodies right now. And if you're watching the recording, I invite you to do this. Just pause your world for a minute if you can, and just do this with us so that you can experience a taste of what it's like to truly just be 100% here right now. Okay, so as we get started, I want you just to move your body, maybe stretch a little bit. Oh, for me, I like to rub my hands together because it feels good to just notice that I'm right here. Rub your legs. Here you are in the chair. Maybe you're standing up. Just kind of get aware of your body so that you can start to practice being right here inside your body right now. Okay. I want to invite you to just take some breaths. Don't even like mess with your breath. Maybe just slow it down a little bit and just notice the sensations of as you're breathing in, what it feels like when it goes through your nose, what it feels like in your throat, what it feels like in your chest, maybe in your diaphragm. Just kind of feel what it feels like to take a breath inside your body. Okay, now that you've become aware of your breath, I want you and I to do some box breathing. If you don't know what that is, it's basically 4 breaths, and each of them has an intention, has a different flavor. So your breath in, it's kind of like you're making a box. Your breath in is really deep. Try to fill up your tummy first, and then let it fill up your chest last. Nice and deep. That's your first breath. Your next breath is hold it. 2, 3, 4. So it's 4s. And then let it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're holding it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So keep doing that just for a little bit here so you can really become aware of what it feels like to breathe. And just be right here in your body right now. I want you to, as you're doing that, presence everything that happened over the weekend, everything that happened over Labor Day, and maybe yesterday, getting back into the groove of real life. Bring that all to your awareness. It's 11:11, make a wish. Think about all of that. Bring it right here. Maybe it was chaotic. Maybe it was awesome. Maybe you were disappointed. Maybe it was just off the charts amazing. Whatever it was, I want you to intentionally presence that. And then on your out breath, I want you to intentionally breathe it all out. Okay. And this is a really powerful practice to do with the box breathing as you're practicing being present, because it's really easy to get stuck in the past, even the good stuff. and just be thinking about it unconsciously and having it take over. But as you're intentionally breathing it out on the exhale, you're going to notice that you're able to carve out some space to be here now. Because maybe it was beautiful, maybe it wasn't, but it's gone. It was before. And now all we have is right now. And we don't even know about tomorrow. So it really just serves us to practice letting go of that. And then on the inhale, just breathe in empty space, peace, maybe something that's white into your body that just cleanses and feels really peaceful and open. Okay, so as you're doing that, I just want you to notice what it feels like just to be here in your body. Because that's where we are right now. We're not on Labor Day. That's over. And we don't know about tomorrow. That's not even a thing. But what we do have is right now. So I just want you to notice what it feels like to be right here in your body right now. Okay, so this is a practice, my friends, that I always tease. Do you have 3 minutes? So maybe you're feeling kind of like, after all those yummy breaths and some intentional letting go of some history in the past. But now I want to ask you, do you have 3 minutes a day? Because I'm telling you from like embodied experience, and then this is just understood universally, that our breath is the most powerful tool we have to bring us to the present. And it's probably the most underutilized. And it's one of those things that can go the opposite, where if we're not aware and not present in our bodies and we're stuck in the past, trying to rewrite the history, or we're stuck in the future, worried about what might come, our breath, what happens to our breath? Might speed up, kind of gets a little bit anxious, right? So as we take control of that and we intentionally get with that, we can take control of the other stuff. But sometimes it just starts with 3 minutes of breathing. And if you can, do some box breathing for 3 minutes a day. Okay, in the chat, I want to hear from you. How are you feeling now? We took just a few minutes to do some breathing and some intentional letting go and some intentional getting present. How are you feeling compared to when we started the call? I want to see what you're feeling in the chat. Because this is for you to notice and hear you. Notice what you just created as a practice. I feel more expansive. My shoulders are kind of a little bit dropped from my ears. Yes, Wendy says relaxed. I love it. Oh, Delta, you're good. Thank you for being with us. Yeah, so how are you feeling? Maybe just even notice. Just notice what it feels like to be in your body right now. Feels really simple, right? But actually, it's just so powerful, especially talking about savoring our now. This is probably the #1 tool that we can continuously practice that will make the biggest difference. Jess says, calm. I needed to do that today. I hear you. It's not very human to pause and do that. It's very divine. Like we have 2 parts of us. We have the human us and then the divine us. And it's very human just to keep spinning. Do you know what I mean? Just my to-do list is a mile long. So why would I don't have 3 minutes to breathe, right? But what I found, and maybe you can relate, is when we pause for just 3 minutes, or literally it can be a matter of 3 deep breaths. It changes everything. Because once we're present, that's where the power is, right? Then we can be intentional. It's kind of that slowing down to speed up. Okay. So yes, Delta, Wendy, Jess, I'm feeling you. So the question is, and this is where we check in with you, do you have 3 minutes a day? And are you committed to just 3 minutes a day of box breaths? This is for you to hear you say, yes, I have 3 minutes, or no, you don't. And if you don't, I'm not sure what to tell you. Right? And then it's for you to hear you saying, yes, I'm committed to just 3 minutes a day to pause and breathe, let my shoulders fall from my ears, relax my jaw. Just let go for 3 minutes. My friends, I tell you, this practice It's a practice. At first, it's like your eyes are twitching and you're like, I gotta go, right? That's okay. As we practice, we'll get better at it and we'll be able to tap into that place of us that's calm and present faster and faster as we practice, the longer we practice. Wendy's in. I love it. I want to hear you in the comments so that you can hear you saying these things and committing to this practice. Okay. Delta says, I've started doing a 10-minute meditation every morning. Oh, absolutely. Yes, that counts, of course. I'm telling you, 10 minutes of meditating is a game changer. And it seems so simple again, but it's not. It's actually, it is simple, but it's so powerful that sometimes we overlook it and we don't think it's going to do anything. But if you've done that, you know that it actually does change how you feel. And that changes everything because we're always just magnetic, right? We're what's the word? Spiritual beings with some sort of electric charge. We have energy inside of us. So our emotions really do dictate how we're feeling. And it really does dictate our magnetic force. So even just 10 minutes, 3 minutes of getting calm, getting our vibration back under control, slowing down actually flips our magnetic charge to where we can manifest more of what we want. So can you see how it's like this chain of events? It is so powerful. And it is the thing in business, in relationships, self-care, as a parent, all the things. This is a power tool. So I love that. Now I want you to keep yourself on the hook for that. So I'm sure you're writing notes. I trust that you're writing down some notes so you can capture your own thoughts around this. I want you to write something. I'm committed 3 minutes a day, or I deserve my 3 minutes a day so that I can calm down and be more intentional with my state and how I'm showing up. Okay. Are you guys in? You're going to write it, put some stars around it, circle it, smiley face, hearts. Okay. All right. I want to share with you a story. Wait, first I'm going to tell you so that your brain can grab onto this, because we always want to know like steps or numbered lists or some sort of structure. We're going to talk about 3 things when it comes to savoring the now. Number 1, accept. Okay, so I want you to write number 1, accept. And we're going to get into this for a minute. So when it comes to being present, there is this challenge that we have of letting go of the past, which is not always easy, and letting go of the future, right? Because if we're present and in the now, then we can't be thinking about and stewing about the past, and we can't be thinking about and stewing about the future. So that means we have to do something with those. We've got to do something with the history intentionally, do something with the future intentionally, so we can be present and there's space for us to be here now. Are you with me? So number 1, I just want you to write the word accept, and we're going to get into it. Okay. But I want to share a story with you. And I laugh. I call it surprise. What I thought was being present. This is the story where I learned it's not what I thought it was. Okay. How many of you think, I want you to type in the comments, what do you think it is when I say be present or be here now? What do you think that looks like? How are you feeling when you're here now? What might change in your life if you're here now and present? I want you to type in the comments, because maybe we are similar in this way. Before this experience, I had a very interesting and unrealistic idea of what it meant to be present. I thought, like, I remember, this is the story. My sweetheart, who's now my husband, surprised me with Justin Bieber tickets in Florida for Christmas a couple years ago. It was so exciting, right? We were dating, we were super digging each other. We were so in love, and we are so in love, but we were like just at the pinnacle of like it just being so new and exciting. And Delta, dude, I love seeing your face. Hooray. So we were just in that place. Are you with me? Where we were, where'd you go? Wait, this is being weird. Okay. We were in that place of like butterflies all the time and just like really just getting to know each other. I was so excited. And at the same time, I was processing the biggest heartbreak of my life, right? Matt came into my world way sooner than I thought he would, and for him too. So I was still processing a lot. I was processing my divorce. I was processing my role as a mom shifting to having my kids only every other week. I was processing the trauma from my past and some things within my relationship of 18 years that were deeply hurtful to me. And so I was just in the midst of processing all these things. And Matt was so patient with me and so kind and sweet. And we were just taking our time, supporting each other, but also having fun. We were a really safe place for each of us to really just escape the pain for a minute. We would talk about things, we'd process things, and we'd like, all right, let's go have fun. We're here, we're alive. Let's go enjoy today, right? And so here I was in this place where I was really working on being present. And that was my trauma therapist. Every single session was like, hey, let's get back into your body right now. Let's get now. And every time it would come down to, I would ask a question. I just want this. I just want this. I want that. I just want to feel this. How can I feel that? How can I do this or that? And she was so patient and kind with me. And every time it's really learning to be present. All of it. That's the answer, to just fully be present. But if you know, when you're processing big feels, it's painful. It hurts to be present. It's hard to breathe being present with those kinds of things, right? And I'm sure every single one of you has an experience or a flavor of pain where you feel me. So can you see, it was like these opposing, I just want to be present. But then I was like, there's these big things I'm processing and I can't like betray myself. I've got to feel these things, process through it, but I want to be present. And what I thought present was like, home. You know what I mean? Like what I thought present was, and my now, savoring my now, what I thought that looked like was everything was peaceful. I was just in flow. Like I was just like, love, butterflies, rainbows. Are you with me? I thought it was that. Okay. But picture this, my sweetheart planned this amazing trip. We stayed at all these cool places. We did the coolest stuff. He is so good at planning trips. I mean, down to like, we'll go to this restaurant, it has a rooftop place where we can see the city and it's cozy. This beach, like it was all planned out. So can you imagine me that the session before this trip, I was begging my therapist, help me be present. I want to enjoy this. I just want it to be awesome. I want to just fully enjoy every minute with my honey. And she was like, okay, just Christy, work on being present. And I was like, oh, it hurts. How can I make it happen? The bottom line is, I remember a moment in a hotel, one of our hotel rooms, where I was trying to sleep and I couldn't sleep because these feelings were coming up and these big feelings. And I was like, no, not now. Let's do that when we get home. I want to just be like, I want to be present. And I remember that was our mantra. He even bought me a ring that said, be here now, because we were focusing so much on working on letting go and just being present, right? But I think we both kind of thought that it was that roses and posies way of being when you're being present. But all this came down to that one night when I couldn't sleep and I was up and these feelings and my heart was pounding and I was just feeling all these big feels. And I realized being present is sometimes painful. That doesn't mean it's wrong. That doesn't mean you're not doing it right. If you get present and there's pain there, that's okay. It is, in my belief, and this is one of those things that has taken me years of walking these things out and practicing, and I'm still totally on the journey of realizing that pain is okay. It's not our favorite. We just, as humans, just want to find a way out, numb it out, buffer it out, crunch it out with food, drink it out, sex it out. We have all these ways of trying to buffer that pain and escaping the pain, right? We all have our different flavors. And what I realized is it is okay to be right here in this body and feel a huge pinch on my heart. It's okay. So here's the statement that I've really come to embody and understand. It's about raising my tolerance for pain. It's not about making the pain go away. If we're trying to be present and the approach is, if I could just get this pain under control, then I can be present. That's not a reality. And we're going to spin our wheels and we're going to develop health problems because those things have to come out. Those things have to be experienced. They're there to get our attention. Our beautiful bodies are meant and created to teach us. So if there's something going on, we get to clear the path and let it come. And there's going to be pain there, and it's okay. It's okay. So I remember in that moment, in that room, late at night, feeling so much pain and so much joy at the same time. You can. Do you know what I mean? This sweetheart who I'm like, I'm so in love with you. You are the answer to my prayers. You're my best friend. You're the biggest support right now. I'm so in love with you. We're not getting married soon because, whoa, we got stuff to process, right? We both did. But I was feeling this joy and this clenching pain that I cannot even explain at the same time. And I realized it's okay. I'm present with the pain. I'm present with the joy. And I'm here. That is savoring. So I'm skipping to another part where I talk about it's a texture. This is what my therapist helped me to see. Christy, you are judging yourself. You're judging your emotions. Whenever something comes up that's painful, you have created a story that something's wrong or you're wrong. You're bad, sick, and wrong because you're feeling a sad emotion. You're feeling angry. You're feeling depressed. You're feeling anxious. So you are labeling it bad. That will keep you stuck. Because as we know, as long as we have a butt crack, reach around, you got a butt crack. That means you're a human. It means I'm a human. It means we have work to do here. It means we're here to learn. It means we're here to experience emotions, all of them. So it is another texture to my life, to your life. When we realize there's nothing wrong with pain, there's nothing wrong with all these different emotions, and they're not bad, they're not negative or positive. I don't say that anymore. They might be uncomfortable, and that's okay. But be very careful, the side note, be very careful of how you talk about your emotions. Because if we're always judging them and saying, oh, that's a negative thought, or, oh, I'm feeling negative today, or, oh, I feel positive, then it creates and perpetuates this story that it's black and white, bad, good. Are you with me? And then it perpetuates the story of, if I'm going to be present, it means I have to be, oh. And is that a reality? No, it's not a reality to be, oh, all the time. And if we think it is, then we're going to way more, what's the word? We would much more likely stay in our past. Are you with me? Or stay in the future. Because we're judging, if I'm going to be present, it's going to be, that's not a reality. So back to what I was saying, it's a texture. Anger, picture like a tapestry on the wall. It's got these beautiful different thread colors, maybe some beads woven in, and then there's like these different lines and then like shapes in it. That's our lives. That's your life. Everybody has a different one, different colors, different textures, different threads. They're unique because every single one of us is unique, right? So picture your life in a tapestry, okay? We have joy. We have exhilaration. We have hope. We have excitement. We have love. We have pain and depression, hopelessness, doubt, all of these things. They are not right and wrong. They are different textures to the tapestry of your life. How boring if it was all just white thread with no textures, no change in color, no change in shapes. I mean, I actually really like white. And there's days I'm like, I can do white. Let's just do white. Right? Okay, cool. That's not reality. We're going to have white and black and gray and green and brown and purple and pink and red and green and blue and all these things. And how amazing. That's the human experience, right? So what I wrote here that has been one of my very most powerful mantras in this practice of savoring the now and being present, Stop judging emotions. Stop labeling them. Write this down if you're not. Stop judging your emotions. Stop judging experiences. Stop labeling things negative, positive, good, bad, barf. Have you heard me say like the good vibes only thing? Oh, like gag me. Seriously, that is so not realistic. And it's so filled with judgment. Raise your hand if your life has been good vibes only. I'm raising my hand. Hell no. It's not a reality. Good vibes only. Barf. It's not about good vibes only. It's about experiencing the full spectrum of emotions. Experiencing, what does that mean? Being present in your body and feeling an emotion. It's not about good vibes only. It's not about, it's about being in your body and going, I feel pain. It hurts. And I'm still breathing. I'm still, check your pulse. I'm alive and I'm feeling pain, big, hard pain. Is it okay? It's okay. Maybe this pain will never go away. Is that okay? It's okay. Have you heard the whole phrase, what we resist persists? My friends, that's what I'm learning. The more we resist the emotions, oh, I can't feel angry. That would be bad, sick, and wrong. BS. Anger is one of the most powerful emotions that can move us into better places. But the longer we resist it, the stronger it gets. And guess what? It comes out in health problems, mental health issues, all the things, because it's that shiz stinks. It's going to come out somehow. So the sooner we go, ooh, I'm feeling angry today. Ay, ay, ay. Or I'm feeling angry right now. It doesn't even have to be the whole day. The key is experiencing. Savoring the now is savoring the now. The now might be painful. It might be frustrating. It might feel hopeless. It might feel brokenhearted. It might feel amazing. It might feel blessed and totally just abundant. Are they right or wrong? It's appreciating it and fully experiencing all of it. You can't experience it if you're not in your body and you're not present. So savoring the now, my friends, it's allowing and accepting that there's pain and there's all these emotions. And is it okay? It's freaking okay. Check your pulse. Take a breath. I'm feeling angry and my heart is still beating and I'm breathing. You're savoring your now. You're savoring what's real for you right now. That's beautiful. Oh, I have chills. That is beautiful. And guess what? The secret for me that I found, savoring the now, even when it's uncomfortable emotions, even when it's painful, allows it to pass quicker so that we can get back into the more comfortable emotions like joy, peace, feeling content. So it's kind of an oxymoron. It's like savoring the now in the moments that are uncomfortable, breathing through it, letting your heart beat while you feel the emotion, finding a way to process it. For me, processing those big, strong, powerful feels like anger, frustration. I love to run it out with something hideous in my ears. Metallica, Slipknot, like Breaking Benjamin. Put it in my ears and let's run it out. Physically stomp it out. It's my favorite way to process those big, powerful feels. Okay. But is it okay to let your heart beat and your lungs breathe while you feel that emotion? That is savoring the now. It's being with what is now and accepting. That's number one, is accepting that it is okay. That's part of savoring the now. Okay, so another part, well, what are you taking away? Does anyone want to share, or in the chat, share something that you are getting from your intuition with all of this? Is this making sense? What are you learning? Is there something that you are hearing that you're like, wait, that was something I'd never thought of. I would love to hear your takeaways. Delta, what are you learning? I'm going to put you on the spot. Or what stands out to you?
Do you want me to unmute or type
Yes.
it?
Yes, please.
Oh, like I can't tell you, Christy, how this call was made for me today. This morning, I get up, I do my meditation. I'm feeling funky because I have an extended family situation that's been going on for 3 years and it just doesn't seem to end.
Mm-hmm.
And so this morning, do my meditation. I'm like, I got to go on my walk because I committed to do my walk. I want to change my neurology. I go out on my walk. I come back. My hubby calls me, how you feeling? I'm like, I'm still jammed. I'm still jammed up and I don't like it. I don't know what to do. And so, sitting here and listening to this, like, because I've been trying to push that jammed feeling away and distract myself from different things, I haven't been able to really, like you're saying, savor the now. So the fact that you just said, and I'd heard it before, but I need so many reminders. The fact that you said, if you allow yourself to sit in it, it will actually push through faster. I'm like, why don't I just do that? Why am I fighting it?
Yep.
So thank you. That's what I'm learning.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for sharing. That really is impactful, isn't it? Stop the resist, drop the shoulders, even physically, put your hands up when you're like resisting an emotion. I shouldn't feel that. I shouldn't feel that. That's wrong. I'm being mean. Stop the judgment and just this. Okay, I'm feeling, how am I feeling? Like there's some little dolly inside of you, Delta, some version of you at some age that might be a little bit littler or younger. That's like, ayo, I have something to say. And you're like, stop, stop, stop. Give that dolly the mic. She's trying to get your attention. She wants to teach you. She has good intentions. So that's why when we remove the judgment around the emotions, we remove the labeling of good, bad, right, wrong, and we just say, interesting, I'm feeling pissed. Or whatever it is, like let yourself go there. Give that little dolly inside of you the mic. Go, what's going on? Why might I be feeling this? What am I afraid of? What is she afraid? What are you afraid of? Give her the mic. And you'll
That's
be
so good, Christy. I've never done that before. I've never sat back and asked my inner child or whatever, why I'm feeling that way. So I appreciate that visual. I'm going to try that. Thank you.
Oh, yes. It's like, you're right. Not right in the sense of like right and wrong. Whatever you're feeling is valid. So when we self-betray and we're like, nope, you don't get to feel that. You're being un-Christ-like by feeling angry. That was my story. BS. Whatever you're feeling is right. And maybe ask yourself, what if what I'm feeling is actually perfect? What might be under that? What could I learn from this? Why is she right? That little dolly inside of me. Oh, she's afraid of being abandoned. So she's trying to control the situation so she doesn't feel it. Do you know what I mean? When you get curious about it and you validate yourself, what I'm feeling is valid. Why might it be valid? What would make sense here? Then you start to go, oh, yes, of course you're feeling angry. You're afraid you're going to be abandoned or whatever it is. And that little dolly inside of you is like, don't let it happen. Please don't. And you can then shift into a place of this Delta, this now Delta that has so much more wisdom and experience. You can go down to that sweet little dolly girl and take her by the hand and go, hey, I hear you. I know you're scared. I know you're afraid. I know you're feeling angry. I got it. We don't have to go that way that we used to go to protect ourselves. We can try this new way. And then all of a sudden it's like, it's like a relief. You feel lighter and more expanded. It's magical, but it starts with just validating yourself and your emotion, right? Okay, so that's accept, part of accept. Here's another part of it. How many of you have seen 50 First Dates? It is one of my absolute favorites. I might have seen it 4 times in the theater when it came out because I was laughing so hard. And I was like, this is the greatest movie ever made. I want to watch it every minute. Do you remember where at the end he married her and then he had a dolly girl with her and he was like, all right, we got to figure this out. Like we've got to systematize her learning about her reality So he made her a little video, right? It was like, this is what happened. You know, there was an accident and then you had this injury and then here's me, I'm your husband. Here's our daughter. Here's all this, right? And so he makes this really short video, maybe like a minute, that just quickly goes through the past and goes through the now so she can process it quicker and they can move on with their life, right? So this last week, I had the biggest epiphany about this. Because if we are savoring the now, we cannot possibly be obsessing about the history. Are you with me? If we're obsessing about the history, there's no judgment, but we aren't present. And we're stuck in these emotions. And maybe we just keep ourselves like this vicious cycle of feeling sludge, like hopeless and depressed and whatever it is. And we're missing our now because we're obsessing about the past because we haven't accepted it. Are you with me? This is embodied, walked out stuff I'm sharing with you that I'm currently working on. What if you had a 1-minute video, just like 50 First Dates, that goes through the big events in your life? Some of them are awesome, some of them are tragic, but it just flashes through, do all the events in your life, right? And then, oh, I have chills. This makes me so fired up. It went through for maybe 30 seconds and flashed all the good stuff about your now. Your kids, your husband, your sweethearts, your business, the people in your life that are bringing you life, the people that you love, the experiences that you've had. It just flashed them all really quick. 1 minute. So the choice is, what if you could do that? What if I could do that every single morning? Because the past is facts. The events are facts. There is nothing we can do about them. And I say that with all the compassion in my heart. There's nothing we can do about it. It's gone. It happened, whatever it is. And I say that with so much compassion. For me personally, it's the practice of recognizing the facts and choosing to accept it. Because guess what? There's going to be so many times when we think something's wrong. This is not supposed to be this way. I'm behind. This isn't, something's gone wrong. I'm right. And it's subconscious. So it might be manifesting in just these anxious feelings or just this blah feeling, or maybe some mental health, like some depression, maybe a racing heart. And you don't even like cognitively know that that's what's going on. But are you feeling me? When you recognize the facts are the facts and they're over and there's nothing you can do about them, and then you make the powerful choice of saying, I accept it. What now? I accept. What now? I have been stuck in not accepting. I was stuck there for probably over a year, just obsessing. Something's gone wrong. This isn't how it's supposed to be. I'm behind. We're off track, right? And I didn't even cognitively know that I was doing that. But how powerful to truly update yourself to your now and fully accept everything. Now listen, I think the next step would be embracing, right? So we go from accepting it to then over time, one step at a time, we start to realize like, wait, that was perfect. We cannot jump there. When you're in a place of like, what's the word? Resisting what is about the history, about your past, you're resisting, you feel all these feels about it. You can't go right to, oh, it was perfect. That's not a reality and that's not realistic. But if you accept it and you choose every day, okay, I accept it. These are the facts. That's the way it was. I accept it. Now what? I'm right here now. Now what? When we do that, what was the word I was saying? I lost my train of thought entirely. Oh, embrace. As we do that, we practice that over and over, just one little bit at a time. We might get to a place where we actually embrace it, the past. As messy and imperfect and off track as we might think it was or is, we might get to a point where we actually bless it. Embrace it, we bless it. We have gratitude for the way that people showed up as messy and hurtful as it might have been, we bless it. And by accepting it, it frees us up to be here now. But how many of us stay stuck in the past and we miss the now? Or we stay stuck in the future and we miss the now. Okay, so I want you to write down under accept. You might have to start with tolerating the history, just simply tolerating it. It might be too big of a step to accept it. Can you tolerate it? Can you simply tolerate that the facts are the facts? And then maybe you can move into accept. And then over time, maybe there's no white knuckling this, but maybe, just maybe, over time, you can learn to embrace and bless the past. Okay. So number 2 is B. So we are creating an acronym that is ABS, ABS. Well, let me tell you a secret. It was going to be ASS. So I had to make a little tweak. We did B instead of savor. So we're coming up with abs instead of the other way. Are you with me? Oh my gosh. Okay. So number 2 is B. So then we're accepting the past. Then that brings us to now. How do you be? How? Like, what do you actually do to be and savor the now? What do you do? Maybe you can write down a few ideas of like what you do. For me, breathing, and it's weird, but like touching my body helps me be like, here I am. I'm right here. This is where I am. I'm not in my other house. I'm not in Southern Utah. I'm actually right here in Lehigh, Traverse Mountain, in this body. I have jeans on. I have a black shirt, like just orienting myself with my physical surroundings. Wendy was saying that earlier. Orient yourself with what's actually in your room or on you. Like, get into your body, right? Touch your hands, touch your legs, take some breaths, look around. Oh, there's a light right there. There's a book. Touch things like tactile so that you can get into your body, right? So that's number 2, to be and savor. Number 3, and we're going to go into this a little bit more before we end, is surrender and trust. Okay. So we're talking about accepting the past, being in your body, in your now, and then surrender to the future and trust the future. Okay. I have another story that I'm not going to tell because we are running short on time. Okay. I'm going to share with you 2 stories really quick as we end. There was a situation. Okay. I was living in Saratoga Springs at the time, was visiting some family down in Southern Utah. It was the middle of the winter, dun, 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 which is like, I don't love it. I like sunshine. I like warmth. And I was right in that place, if you know what I mean, where I was like, I've had it. Why do I live here? Winter's the worst. So we were visiting some family down in Southern Utah, playing some pickleball. Okay. So how many of you love pickleball? It's so fun, isn't it? Time goes away and you're like, oh, this is the best thing in the world. I was there. Okay. We had a radio, bless my heart. We had some sort of like speaker, radio. Oh, honey, that's really precious. A speaker that was playing some good old Frank Sinatra. I love the crooners. I love Frank Sinatra. It just puts me into a place, right? So the speaker was playing Frank Sinatra, playing some pickle. The sun was shining. The sky was blue. It was just like a little chill in the air, but warm enough. Oh, it was perfect. Okay. Now within my view was a church and there was a funeral happening. Okay. So we could see through the fence, like there's a church and a funeral and all that stuff was going on. Of course, I'm aware of that and I'm sending love and all the things, but I was in the moment and I was like, this is perfect. I was savoring my now, right? Every little bit of it. My body can do this. I have legs that work. My lungs are, you know what I mean? I was really just savoring it with that funeral in the distance. So not too long, a child starts throwing a massive tantrum, massive. Kicking, screaming at the top of the lungs, the kind where I would usually like get involved and be like, why are you acting? You know what I mean? Like, because those kind of moments are fleeting, right? So I went from this place of like just bliss and euphoria to then a temptation to get into this and be like, see, now you're throwing a tantrum and somebody else has a poopy diaper and like, it just started to kind of get to that place. And it was this moment of clarity that was like, Do you ever have those moments that come like all at once? And it was just this understanding. I call it like a download. It wasn't like a linear train of thought. It was just, and I call it funeral goggles. You want to hear it? I'm going to try to dig in and dissect, but it was just an understanding and a knowing that's hard to put into words. But there I was, within sight, I could see a funeral. And I was thinking, at my funeral or at someone I love, what really matters? What really matters at that point? That everything's perfect? That I get to have this blissful moment where everything's perfect, nobody's upset? Is that real, or what actually matters? This moment right now matters. And I can choose to focus on the tantrum and the poopy diaper, or I can choose to go, oh my gosh, the sky is blue, Frank Sinatra, pickleball, sunshine, my body works. And I can relish being in that moment right there. And that matters. And that is real, with the tantrum, with the poopy diaper. Are you with me? So it is my belief that we have those, when we have funeral goggles on, perspectacles, whatever you want to call it, and you think, okay, at the funeral, what's going to be talked about? Is it going to be talked about that they had a tantrum or my kid had a tantrum? Let it be insignificant. Focus on the savoring. Focus on the things that are just so miraculous in this moment, as if you were at a funeral or your own funeral. Just look at things through those goggles, right? Have the appreciation and the savoring of those moments that you will have later. Could I have it now? Even with the poopy diaper and the tantrum, could I actually have that feeling, that savoring? You know what I mean? Like at a funeral where you're just thinking of the memories and it brings this energy of just, oh, life's so good. Like, I just need to stop worrying about the small stuff and just focus on what really matters. Funeral goggles. What if you could take that and time travel? Take that moment of just relishing. When I think about funerals of people that I love, and you think about the moments you talk about where you were laughing your heads off together, or some situation, right? Yes, Delta, it puts things into perspective, perspectacles, right? But what I'm suggesting, could we have that now in the middle of the messy? Could we have that perspective, those funeral goggles on now, while the poop stinks, while the child is throwing it? Is it possible to do that? It is. It's not easy. It's a challenge. But it is possible, and it is a practice. So I want you to ask yourself, can I do that? Like, what could I do funeral goggles with? What could I just simply like not give my intention and my focus to, that's causing me pain, that's taking me out of the moment? What can I double down on focusing on that's going to matter, that'll be important at my funeral or at someone's? Do you know what I mean? Creating more of those experiences and truly savoring the moment of being in it, not just savoring it later, being in it right now. Okay. Okay. Last story, and we're going to be done. I was on the treadmill just a couple days ago, running. I love it. I didn't love it, and now I love it. And that's why I love it, because I worked through it, right? But I was running, and I was kind of like bored and looking around like, I want to be done. Not that I didn't love the running. I was just distracted. Do you know what I mean? And I saw this guy walk by who had a cane. He was a little bit older, but not really that old, limping at the gym. First of all, they're the real heroes. Like, whoa, I love that. But in that moment, it was another download moment. What if he could be in my body right now? How would he be feeling? And it's the same kind of thing, like a time travel moment, or just like a moment of switching bodies for just a second. And I was like, I'm going to pretend. This sounds crazy. I know it is crazy. Welcome. That's how my brain works, and my heart and my soul, right? But in that moment, I was like, I'm going to pretend I'm him right now. Like, he would dream of being able to run on the treadmill right now. He would dream of it. It was clear that he had like a long-term issue with his leg that didn't allow him to move that fast. So I was like, what if I could just feel how he might feel inside my body right now? And I'm telling you, I was telling Matt and my kids this morning, my physical body felt different. I'm not kidding. That's the power of gratitude for the ordinary miracles. Okay. Right. Ordinary miracles. We live every single day with ordinary miracles all over the place. But what are we doing? Where's our focus? Are you with me? The focus is, I'm bored. I want to get off this thing. I want to get to my to-do list. Or is the focus, my legs are running. This is a miracle. That friend over there would give anything to be in my body, feeling this exhilaration of running right now. Are you with me? And I literally felt different physically. It was a shift, a huge shift. And it just made me realize that another part of savoring the now is having the ability and practicing real gratitude for the ordinary miracles, not just like, well, okay, yeah, I have a healthy body. That's cool. It's almost like we don't appreciate the things until they're taken away from us. Are you with me? So that makes it more of a miracle when you realize, whoa, tomorrow I could be paralyzed and then I would be so giddy about running on a treadmill. So again, could we possibly have that level of appreciation and that level of savoring that we would have? Could we possibly bring it to the now? We can. And I'm telling you, it shifted my physical body, my mental state, and my energy shifted. And I was like, whoa, this feels so good. It was amazing. So those are just practices of how we can get present in our body now and bring that gratitude, the funeral goggles, the perspectacles, all those things so that we can truly savor those moments that we would have had in the now. Okay. Surrendering to the future. Truly, my friends, as humans, we just want so bad to have certainty, don't we? It's like one of our biggest, just like white knuckle. I want certainty. I want to know what's going to happen. How does it end? And then all this fear wrapped up with it. But truly, what if we just realize we have no idea what tomorrow brings? We do know there's change always. And this moment right now, it's unique. No other moment will be just like this. And we have no idea what the future brings. It might be more challenges. All the more reason to enjoy the now, right? It might be amazing, cool, but there isn't any moment just like this one. So when we really intentionally learn, and maybe with your box breathing that you're doing, on your exhale, you can also just visualize letting go of your white knuckle on your future. Because we don't know. We don't have that control. There's a lot that's within our control, but at the end of the day, we don't have that control, right? So realizing that and intentionally bringing that into a practice, even just your 3 minutes, is going to really it's going to enrich the now, because we start to realize like tomorrow things might be completely different. So I'm going to go ahead and breathe into now and feel it and appreciate it and have gratitude for the ordinary miracles that are now, right? Okay, that's all we have time for, my friends, but I want to challenge you and me. What one thing besides your 3 minutes a day, okay, what one thing came up for you that was like, that is for you? Your intuition is like, yes, that, do that, be that, step into that. What is it? I want you to write something down. Don't overthink it. I want you just to write down maybe your biggest takeaway, something that you are like, oh yeah, that's speaking to me at this moment. And I want you to practice it this week. Practice it this month. Just a little bit. Don't overthink it. Don't think it has to be perfect. Just a tiny baby step in that one thing that's your takeaway so you can start to get some momentum, right? Okay, my friends, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing this space. I honor that you're here. And I just thank you so much for doing this live with me. I love you dearly. Mwah. Create a beautiful day. We'll see you all very soon. Bye.